Hey guys, it's Duke, and today we will be looking at the Object 260. Now, the Object 260 is the Tier 10 reward vehicle, the one for the first campaign. And I gotta say that I have a 277 and I free marked it, and I just find the 277 a much easier tank to play. I don't know why. I have better stats in that than in this vehicle. Um, I also have to say that this tank has APCR, which is a really nice thing. And other than that, I won't focus too much on the vehicle's characteristics. This tank has 440 alpha, I believe, while the 277 has 490. So that's quite a difference there. But anyways, I think it takes much more skill to play this tank than the 277. I don't know why. It's just I find it much more complicated, even with side scraping, of course, and all that. So anyways, I'll just focus on the battle itself. I mean, we're on Siegfried line, and it's a really favorable matchup here, pretty much. No Wardy, which is amazing. The only big threats are the 60 TP and the two chieftains in platoon, which already put our team at a big disadvantage. But other than that, me and my buddy Mikkel are going to do our best to counter them. So anyways, we put two shots in the object 430, which he played pretty aggressive and obviously didn't pay out. I'm going to play pretty passive here because I usually like to play where the chieftain and the CS59 are. But since the chieftain is there, and if you have a chieftain, it is most likely that you know what you're doing. And in that case, he has the upper hand. And I'm not willing to trade my HP with him just about yet, since it's only 1-1. Now, the thing is, we have the field. Actually, it's kind of a draw, like a stalemate, because our Leos are not willing to commit, but nobody has committed into the E1, which is also problematic. And as you can see, the chieftain obviously killed the CS59, so it's not looking really good for us. They completely took control of that side, but thankfully the Leo will probably suppress the chieftain from going forward. Now you might be wondering, well, why are you playing so passive? Well, because right now there's not pretty much anything that I can do about it, you know? Wherever I go, I'll get pushed, and wherever I get pushed, that's bad news. I see a T10 trying to put the pressure, and rightfully so, but he didn't take into account that I was here and I track him for it, which is great. I'm going to put two shots into him, leaving him on 50% HP approximately, which is a good result. I almost pissed myself when I see the FV, but luckily he misses, and I think he was also firing AP, which is a bonus to us. I hit the T10, I think I ammo racked him, honestly, which is good. We'll see in my post-game stats how much damage we did to him. So anyways, it's 2-3, but I would still argue that the enemy team has an upper hand. But you're going to see a really aggressive play that I'm going to make here, which I wouldn't advise you unless you're like 100% confident in yourself, because look what I'm about to do. I'm looking at the 140, I look at him so he doesn't shoot at me. I hit the chieftain on the move. That was a super risky shot, but I managed to make it count, and I take this position, which is amazing. Now you may be wondering, why is this position amazing? Well, this position is actually amazing when there's no RT. And this position, as you can see, gives you shots in the middle. It gives you can also fire at E1 in the open field if you look down from the gates. It gives you an all-around perspective of the map, which is fantastic. And it doesn't allow tanks to push in the middle of the city, which is great. So anyways, we hit, as you can see, the Conway, and we're going to try to hit the TP, but we miss. The gun handling of this tank is not optimal, but it's far from bad, you know. Now, as we can see, Mikkel kills our platoon mate kills the Conqueror, which is great stuff. But their STB is starting to farm, which is bad because their insane DPM, which the STB has, like, could kill us in seconds. Now my platoon mate, as you'll see, makes an insanely bad play. I'm sorry, my dude, but it's just how it is. You can't ever peek from that corner when there are like 4 tanks, including the FV on that side. So there's none about that. As you can see, I know that the STB will just DPM me to death, so I'm trying to fall back as much as possible before the STB kills me. Luckily, this guy doesn't seem to know that gold rounds, like heat rounds, tend to be absorbed when fired at tracks. And luckily for me, he hits the tracks. So with a quick repair kit, I'm out of there and I'm back to safety. Now what I noticed is a T30 and I almost crapped myself because if the T30 has a high caliber gun, that would be terrible news for us. So I fall back and look for a better target, which is the Chieftain, but that doesn't work out because he was pre-aimed at me, and that leaves me on a one shot for anyone on the team. Thankfully there's no RT because I would be already dead. This position is pretty useful when there's no RT. If there's RT, you can be sure you'll be murdered. And as you can see, I'm really falling back into the dip here, into the gates, and that is because I know we have control of the field. If we didn't have control of the field, I couldn't make this type of pressure at all in the first place. So that is one good news. So anyways, as you can see, the snapshotting doesn't really work on this vehicle. So I'm trying not to aim too much. Like, I'm trying to minimize the enemy's potential to hit me, because one shot and that's it. I see the T30, however, is turned around, so I fully aim into the T30 and put a shot into him. What you could argue is that if I had more HP, I could push down from the 5 line, you know, down to the bunker where the TVP is at. If I had more HP, of course, and that would be actually a pretty good play. But since I played pretty much recklessly and I'm a one shot, the only thing I can do is sit tight and wait. And the Leos, even though we're not in a platoon, playing together is a real game changer here, because it allows me to exercise, how should I say it, play my defensive nature in whatever playstyle I want. Now, as you can see, I take a big risk here and try to put a shot into him. Thankfully, the T30 misses, and we notice that he has a low caliber gun, which is good because, you know, he can't HE me to death, I think, with one shot. I think he should get lucky. And the bad thing is that he has rate of fire, so I can't peek on him twice. So I just have to wait. But T30 on our team, however, goes a little bit impatient and the FV murders him. But we can notice that T62A is putting pressure on the T30, so I'm gonna try and support him as much as possible. I saw that he fired, so I'm gonna peek, put a good shot into him. That was a lucky shot. I'm gonna put another shot into him, putting 2 shots, which is amazing, and using the situation to my advantage, you know. I'm gonna help out the T62A because he's putting pressure on the enemy, and I'm gonna help myself because I'm putting damage on my stats. So anyway, I'm gonna put good shot into Object 430, which is crucial because he can't push me. We notice that the Charfoot Tor is gonna probably jump over and kill the T62A, so we want to put a good shot into him. I auto-aimed there because I didn't trust my pings. As you saw, I jumped to 150, which is not optimal. But however, we put a good shot in, and we're up to 6k now. So far so good. Now what I'm worried about is the 60p is going to apply pressure, of course, but if he loads HE, it's GG for me 100%. So instead of putting a shot and falling back, I decided to fall back immediately because I know the risk is too great. And he misses, as you can see, he hits the ground. I miss, however, well, I bounce him, and I'm going to start to load heat. Now, as you can see, the TVP and the cheat in Miyagi 430 fell completely back into B8, B9, which means I can commit where my platoon mate committed without dying though, and apply pressure to a 60p who's now surrounded and alone, which is great news for us. He's probably going to try and hit the Leo because he's probably spotted, and the TVP is going to clap him from behind, no problem. And I'm just going to finish off with 60 TP on the move. No problem. I don't know how I continue to move forward because I was afraid the FV might see me, but the FV is too far away and concentrating on the 277 to see me, to be focused on me. So anyways, it's 12-11, 6.2, probably 7k because of a blind shot on the T10. As you can see, he's ammo racked. It's 12-11, nothing is decided yet. It's pretty risky. It's 12-12 now. I'm looking for a shot on the TP, but I don't see one. I put a shot in the FV, however, through all the rubble and stuff, putting our damage total to 6.7k, the visible damage, which is great news for us. And well, TVP is full HP, which is pretty much full HP, which is great. So I'm gonna let him take the shots for me. I mean, what to say? I mean, just me being patient and staying alive, helping out my teammates, playing it really passive towards the end, really put us at an advantage. I mean, the chieftain, their chieftain died immediately at the beginning, and we used that because then I took his position. Well, I killed him because he was low HP, and I took his position, which is a really strong position when there is no RD. So what I'm going to do is going to put a good shot into a TVP. I kill him, but however he snapshots me, well, I snapshotted him as well, and we finish each other off, which is pretty unfortunate. But anyways, what to say? I mean, the TVP is going to finish off with a chieftain, I think, and that's pretty much the game. So what did we learn from this battle? The position at E6 is really strong if there's no RD, and you have to be patient to see the enemies make mistakes, and then you can commit. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.